75 years ago today, the United States beat England 1-0 in the World Cup. The result was historic, and it could not have happened without our town. Corey Miller looks back in tonight's Spotlight Story.
If you stop by Barra Park on the Hill on a summer's day, you'll likely find some young athletes cultivating their soccer dreams. Our town has been turning soccer dreams into soccer legends for quite a while, especially on the Hill. But there has never been anything like what happened 75 years ago in Belo Horizonte, Brazil.
For our town, put it literally on the national and international soccer map.
June 29th, 1950, the FIFA World Cup in Brazil, the pinnacle of the most popular sport in the world. The Americans sent a ragtag bunch of amateurs to face off against the best in the world, and not even their own coach believed in them.
He says we have no chance. We're like lambs getting sent into the slaughter.
Among those amateurs were 5 St. Louisans: Frank Borghi, Harry Keogh, Gino Pariani, Charlie Colombo, and Pee Wee Wallace. Oh yeah, 4 of them were from that Italian neighborhood in St. Louis, the Hill. All 5 of them started, comprising nearly half of the United States team. And unlike their professional counterparts at the World Cup, soccer was not the only commitment for these St. Louisans.
These guys were all amateurs. They all had regular jobs. My dad was a mail carrier.
My dad was a funeral director. That was his job.
In the group stage, the USA club faced England, a powerhouse of the game and one of the favorites to win the entire tournament. But when the final whistle sounded, the United States had won, 1-0.
It was the greatest result in U.S. soccer history.
One of the biggest upsets not just in soccer history, but in sports history.
Massive upset. The Brits like to use that word massive too.
The British newspapers presumed, it's clearly a misprint. 10-0, England won. English fans still, they can't get over it.
The star of the game was one of those boys from the Hill, the goalkeeper, Frank Borghi.
By all accounts, especially my dad's account, was the star of the game.
Frank, pure and simple, won the game for us. Stopped everything in sight, caught everything in sight. His hands were immense.
We didn't know it until we had to go to these soccer banquets all the time. We're like, again, another award. We didn't get it because he didn't talk about it. He was as good as they say he was.
The U.S. run ended in their next game against Chile, but the legacy of the win over England remains 75 years later.
This week is all about paying homage to the past and that foundation of which our club sits upon.
St. Louis doesn't forget its sports heroes. You can literally walk the streets of the Hill and see plaques outside the houses where these men lived.
They were very proud of this. I mean, these were all immigrants, first and second year immigrants that all came in through Ellis Island and somehow settled down here.
And now, with the help of City SC, they're forever stamped on the side of Antonino's, a fitting place to keep a watchful eye over their old neighborhood.
This neighborhood doesn't forget. I'm overwhelmed, to tell you the truth. So is my family.
Today, soccer might look a bit different in St. Louis. Sure, there are still the dreamers at Barra Park, but there's also now a home where dreams become reality, Energizer Park. And City SC certainly hasn't forgotten its history.
But to have St. Louis City recognize this at 75 years is pretty extraordinary. They're doing the right things. I think it's really very, very neat.
And it is not too far of a stretch by any means to say that we watch these games at Energizer Park, we're standing on the shoulders of Borghi, Colombo, Keogh, Pariani, Wallace.